Hi, Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. Well, last week I made the body for this inside-out ornament, and I promised to finish it in this video. Well, last week there was a question whether to put a bell inside or a tree inside. I chose to put the Christmas tree inside, which was my original plan. To satisfy my bell inclinations, I did incorporate a bell shape into the top finial here. So this has a Christmas tree, a top finial, a wire loop for a hanger. I'll show you how to make that. A bottom spacer that balances out the overall weight and shape of the form, and then the bottom finial. One note about finials on Christmas ornaments that I adhere to, it's not a rule, but it is my guideline for my work, is that Christmas ornaments, there's bound to be a lot of kids around a Christmas tree, and there's no way you're going to stop them from handling a Christmas ornament. So I don't want a sharp point on my finials for a Christmas ornament. I'd rather them be blunt to minimize any impact from children handling them. So that to me is a safety issue, but it's not an absolute rule. So in this video, let's finish up by making the finials and the Christmas tree for this and make a completed ornament.
First, I want to make the Christmas tree. I have a piece of poplar mounted between centers that I previously rounded. I need to cut a small tenon for mounting to long-nosed jaws. Since these jaws do not have a dovetail, I need to cut it a bit longer than otherwise to be sure it stays in the chuck. Now with the wood secure in the long-nosed jaws, I'm retruing the blank. Then cut back some wood near the live center to avoid end grain cracks. Then mark the length of the tree. I'm sizing the tree to be just a little shorter than the opening in the body. Now I can start shaping the tree. I need a 3/8 inch tenon on the bottom, a disc to be the ground under the tree, a small part to become the trunk, then the branches. At first I thought to just shape a simple taper to the top, then I thought to add grooves to mark the branches, then I deepened the grooves to highlight the branches more. After sanding, I got out my Richardson atomizer to spray on some green dye. Blowing on the mouthpiece creates a suction to drop the dye from the vertical tube, then spray it onto the wood. Kinda neat. I put on a very light mottled spray, then sealed the tree with rattle can lacquer. Now for a spacer for the bottom of the globe. I chose a scrap piece of walnut. As usual, my first task is to cut a tenon on the wood. This tenon needs to be 3/8 inch to fit the hole I drilled in the body. Once I'm sure it fits, I've started shaping it. I'm sanding it now while I still have access. There's a natural crack in the wood, but since it has not weakened the wood, I decided to not fill it, but to leave it as a feature. Then flip it and remount it in the long-nosed jaws. There's not much left to do other than to drill a 1/4 inch hole to accept the bottom finial and clean it up. After extending the wood from the chuck just a little, I'm applying lacquer for a finish. I'm using a tropical hardwood pen blank for the finial. Just don't ask me what the species is. I'm inserting the blank directly in the long-nosed jaws. First, I'm cutting a 3/8 inch tenon for the mounting to the globe. Then shape the remainder into a bell-shaped finial. This is the only bell for this ornament. After sanding, I flipped it around to drill a hanger hole, final sanding and finishing with lacquer. For the hanger, I've put a drill bit backwards into a drill chuck on the lathe. The lathe will serve as a holder. Then wrap fine wire around the solid part of the drill bit, grab the two ends with vice grip pliers, and twist the wires into a tight wrap. While I'm at it, I'll make a couple more to not waste the wire. This hanger I will glue to the top finial with medium CA glue. Now for the longer bottom finial. Back to the long nose jaws. I'm exposing the pen blank a little further. This time I'll cut a 1/4 inch tenon. This is about at the minimum limit for my chuck, and make sure it fits to the walnut spacer. Then reverse the wood using the tenon in the long nose jaws. I like blunt end finials for Christmas ornament. Often children will handle or play with them. To me, a blunt end is safer for them. After shaping and sanding, I'm applying lacquer for a finish before assembling everything together. I used a skew and a small spindle gouge. Here it is, my first inside-out ornament for this Christmas season. Plan now for your ornament and video to send in during November. The Christmas Ornament Challenge is open to all crafts, all materials, all skill levels, all ages, and all geographies. It will be a lot of fun and great prizes. More details will follow in videos and on my website, aswoodturns.com. That's all for this Inside Out ornament. Please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe, and tell your friends. Always wear your full face shield. Goggles are not enough protection. Until next week, this is Alan Stratton from As Wood Turns. Come back next week for a new video.